everybody, it is the start to another reading vlog, not to another readathon. If you've been watching my other videos, I am way behind when it comes to actually vlogging on time. Today's the 7th, which means the NEWTS readathon has been going on for about 7 days. I actually started reading a couple days ago, but my reading TBR video is not up yet. Today I actually finally filmed an ending / wrap up to my reading rush reading vlog, and that actually goes live in about an hour. I also filmed my TBR for the NEWTS today, just that video most likely will not go up until Friday. So over a week from the start of the readathon, but I've been participating. Just to give you guys a heads up of what's been going on and why I haven't been on the ball about vlogging. My friend got married in the beginning of the month. The rehearsal was on my birthday, August 2nd, and the wedding was the very next day, August 3rd. So that alone is why it got pushed back originally. I had to prep for the wedding. I had to steam all my clothes. I had to go get my nails done. I went with my friend. She had got beautiful set of nails done that day. And then we participated in wedding festivities. I actually had a day of rest on Sunday. I didn't have any plans. But the very next day, Monday, I did my usual shift at job number 1. Got out of work about 2, and then I had made plans with my parents, with one set of parents rather. It ended up being a far longer outing than I expected. I love my parents to death, but it's never quite a visit unless I'm emotionally drained by the end of it. So afterwards, I just didn't feel like reading or vlogging, and so nothing really started until the next day. So the next day, which was yesterday, I was at job number 1. I did my usual shift, but after work, I had to get one of my nails fixed. At the wedding, actually, my nail broke, and I didn't realize that it actually broke because I heard the snap at the wedding. I didn't think anything of it. It wasn't until the next day that I saw that it was absolutely cracked. Now, it's been less than a week. My nails were expensive. I'm going back to that salon, and I'm going to see if I can get it fixed. They were really nice about it, actually, because it was less than a week. They fixed it for free, no problem. I know other salons do that, but I wasn't quite sure if this salon was going to, and so I was worried I was going to have to pay to get this nail fixed. But I didn't, that was awesome. During my walk to the nail salon and at work yesterday, I actually listened to Stars Above by Stephanie Meyer as an audiobook. I said in my TBR video that I have it as an audiobook right now through Hoopla. At least I'm pretty sure I did. And so that's what I'm listening to right now. I'm about 3 hours in. I want to say it's a 10-hour audiobook. So the goal is to actually finish this by the beginning of next week. With all of the walking I do and paging at work or working in the sorter room in the back, I feel like I should be able to finish this book within a week. I do plan on starting The Near Witch this week. That's a library book that's due soon, and I don't have the audiobook to that. So I do have to start that soon, but we'll see how that goes. But I guess I'll leave this now for a check-in. I was originally kind of concerned I wasn't going to have enough footage for the first week reading vlog, but honestly, I'm pretty long-winded. We'll have something by the end. We'll have something. Hello, it is the next day. I just got out of work. Last time I checked in, it was the first time checking in for this stupid vlog, and I had just filmed my TBR for the NEWTS readathon. It hasn't gone live yet. Earlier, I actually had edited the wrap-up video for the reading rush, and I had it set up to go live at 4 o'clock, but minutes before 4 o'clock, I realized I messed up on one of the overlays, so I had to cancel it at last moment. But at that point, I was already at work, so I had to wait until I got out of work. So I didn't even go live until 10 o'clock last night. So of course, that meant I was up super late making sure things got settled. But we're finally caught up with the reading rush. That vlog is now done. Oh, excuse me. While I was at work yesterday, I did some paging and I did listen to Stars Above while I was at work. And I'm about the halfway point now. Like I said in my TBR video, it's a bunch of short stories. So far, I've only seen prequel ones. I don't know if it goes any farther than that. Why is it so busy on this road today? But I've seen a story that focused on Scarlet, on Cinder, on Cress, and on Cresswell. I know it's Thorn. I don't remember what his first name was, but it's Thorn. They're fun stories. I just don't think they necessarily add anything to the overall series. They don't take anything away either. I see this I see I'm gonna rate this like a solid 3 stars. Fun, but eh. But I gotta cross the street now. I guess I'll check in later. Hi everybody, I just had a picnic outside. A bug flew right into me and I didn't run away. So personal growth. It's actually pretty nice out here. As long as you stay out of the sun, which I am in. About 30 minutes ago I wasn't, and the sun decided to be a jerk and move. I didn't read a single page yesterday. As soon as I got home, I watched TV instead. A patron had recommended this Swedish show called The Simple Heist, and I've had this from the library for 3 weeks. We're just about, it's due tomorrow. I'm probably going to just, accept the late fee on it. And I wanted to at least start it before it got too late, and so I'm about halfway through the season now. It is very good and very funny. I actually would not have sought this on my own if it wasn't for the patron. So I didn't read it all yesterday. I didn't edit it all yesterday. I should have. I keep telling people, I keep promoting my NEWTS TBR video. I'm like, it's going out today, it's going out on Friday, keep an eye out for it. I haven't started editing it at all. So it means I'm gonna be up really late tonight. I did that to myself. I did bring a couple of books for work today. Ooh, there's a fly on me. I did bring a couple of books for work. I brought the NEWTS so I can read it at work. I also brought volume 2 of My Brother's Husband. I actually started reading that before I started vlogging for this readathon. I had hoped to finish it before I started really buckling down for this readathon, because I borrowed it from my library during the reading rush with every intention on reading it, and I just didn't get to it. So I'm trying to read it before I have to bring it back. So we're gonna finish that today. At least start on the NEWTS, and on my walk home from work, listen 2 stars above. So I have some reading plan for me today. Oh man, a patron just got real pissed at me. So I closed by myself, like I've said before, and it's like 2 minutes before closing. I'm like, all right, so it's safe to lock the door and use the bathroom. That way I'm not being bothered trying, you know. And as soon as I leave the bathroom, there's this lady knocking on the door, so pissed. She's like, it's not 5 yet. I'm like, first of all, it's 4:58. It's basically 5. If you're just returning, you can leave it in the box. I didn't say any of this. Of course, I profusely apologized. I'm like, I'm really sorry. There was no one here for the last 30 minutes, which was true. I thought it was safe to lock the door. Please take your time. You have the 2 minutes. And she's like, I just needed to grab this movie. Grabbed the movie and left. And then she proceeded to complain how we're closed on Saturdays. Make sure that this door is locked. All right. We're closed on Saturdays. She's like, it doesn't say on your website that it's closed on Saturdays. Yes, it does. I even offered her a bookmark with our hours. It does. This lady's full of... You know what? I'm going to check that. I'm like talking crap about her, does it? I try to leave right at 5 because my train is at 5:04. If I miss it, then I'm stuck waiting for the next one. I didn't get to leave right at 5 today, so I'm stuck waiting to the next one. So let's see what the hours are on the freaking website. It does! This... it does. It does say it. Gives the hours, and then the bottom of these hours are closed Saturdays in July and August. Like, I still shouldn't have locked the door at 4:58. I literally thought I had time to take care of that. And also, if you know a place is closing, why do you run in? Apparently, she really needed to get Avengers, like the 2012 one. Nothing else, just that particular movie. And, oh look, she made a mess of my shelf too. Alright, so my train ended up being super late, and so I actually still made it. Is there a reasonably sized petty part of me that hopes that movie disc is so scratched that lady can't watch it? Absolutely. But I'm feeling much better now. So my phone is dying, so I'm actually going to make this a pretty quick update. When I got home, I did start editing that video that I wanted to go out today. It was the NEWTS TBR video. It did take quite a few hours. I want to say it took me about 3 hours to actually edit this video, but by the time it was 10 o'clock, I finally had it uploaded and I shared it in a bunch of platforms, so it's all set and ready to go. I even made sure to watch it before I went live so I wouldn't have to like delete it and reinstall it or re-upload it like what I had to do for Wednesday. So we got that sorted. So afterwards, I actually sat down and continued reading the Near Witch. While I was at work, I did finish My Husband's Brother Volume 2. It was very sweet, very much like the first book. Like, it had that sweet, sad vibe sort of to it. It was definitely about grieving and growing and, you know, character development for all these different characters. It was really the ending that got me. It was such a heartfelt ending that I loved it. I ended up rating this 5 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. It was really lovely. And then at work, for a little bit, I did read this. I got maybe 40 pages in, and then when I got home, after I finished editing that video, because that was my priority for the night, I did continue reading it. I wanted to get a quarter of the way through, and I did do that. So far, it is actually quite obvious, at least to me, that in her debut novel, Victoria Schwab had yet to really find her voice as a writer. This is very much unlike everything else that I've read by her. And it definitely has like a bunch of tropes that were very popular in 2011, like our main character is not like other girls, and it's definitely about her being a bit of a tomboy when she's supposed to be this feminine little thing. A couple of the plot points kind of don't make sense to me, like her uncle insists that she wears these cute little slippers instead of these leather boots, but she lives on the moor in a village. I'm used to reading fantasy books that if you were in a village or low class, you dressed like it. And I feel like these slippers are out of her class point, if that's how I want to word it. I could be mistaken. I have no idea. Based on what I have for assumptions, this doesn't quite fit with what I'm envisioning. At this point, kids are just starting to go missing. The first boy went missing, and they're kind of investigating what has happened. They think it's, at least her uncle thinks it's a stranger that just showed up that's being sheltered by the village witches. Lexi doesn't think it is. It's quite obvious that the romance is going to be happening between Lexi and the stranger. I see it a mile away. But I'll read some more of this tomorrow. Like I said, my phone's about to die, and so we're going to go charge this. And now that it is 11:30 at night, I'm going to get ready for work tomorrow. Oh, I know I just said my goodbyes, but actually I'm going to do something for the month of August. So I recently watched a video, I'm forgetting her name, but she's a booktuber, and her video is titled How Consistency Made My Channel Grow. So, as an experiment, I'm actually going to try to post more often in the month of August. Normally I try to post twice a week, but lucky if I post once a week and I take random breaks in between, I'm going to try to post 3 times a week. And that way, if I don't post 3 times a week, I'm at least posting twice a week. And maybe they'll help me with my consistency, and maybe it'll help me see this channel grow. So we're both going to see how well I'm really going to stick to this. I even made a schedule while I was at work when I had some downtime. So we have a list of videos for the month of August. Alright, so now I'm officially done checking in with you guys. I'll see you either tomorrow or the next day. Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday. I didn't really check in yesterday. Yesterday I did my usual shift at the main branch at job number 2. I usually work from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. While I was at work, I did do some paging. I did that for a couple hours, and so that was a lot of time for me to just listen to Stars Above. And afterwards, I actually did some shelving as well. So I actually was by myself for at least 4 hours yesterday, which was really nice. During that time, I actually made it to the 7-hour mark of this 10-hour audiobook, and I actually listened to some better stories. When I last checked in about this book, I was like, I see this being like a 3-star read. These last 2 stories have been a lot. The one with Winter was especially, If you're not aware of the story, Winter is the princess on Luna, and she actually has this ability to manipulate people. The people of Luna has that ability. Just some people are more gifted than others, and Winter is one of those people. And she was actually able to manipulate someone from, like, killing themselves. So right away, trigger warning with the attempted suicide. And then we find out later that she didn't really save this person. This person was being manipulated into having sex with someone in power. So she was being raped. So another trigger warning for this particular story. And then she's eventually successful in killing herself, which is a lot with this story. And because Winters realized this is what she done, like she didn't really save this person. Like, yes, she kept them from killing themselves, but she didn't address why they wanted to. So she realized that her ability isn't really a gift, and so she keeps herself from using her gift. But when you don't use your gift, it actually causes lunar sickness, which means the person starts hallucinating. It's a lot there. And then the queen, her stepmother, is basically telling her, I don't know why you're not using your gift, but you're embarrassing me and you need to start using your gift. So to encourage you to start using your gift, we're going to cause some scarring. So you feel the need to like manipulate people into like hiding your scars. She basically had Winter like cut herself. And that alone was a lot of imagery that I didn't need. Like the rest of like the bad stuff that was happening in the story, they kind of glanced over it. So you knew it happened, but they moved on quickly from it. But this was a very detailed scene of Winter being forced to cut herself. It was a lot. So if I keep saying it's a lot, because I don't know how else to describe it. So if you're sensitive like me, here's your warning, or you can just skip over this particular story. I don't even know what the title is. Do I have the book offhand? Yes, it's right here. It's right here. The Princess and the Guard, that's the title. So if you're like me and you're very sensitive and you just want to skip over it, it's called The Princess and the Guard. And this next story right afterwards was heartbreaking as well. Not as effed up as this story with Winter, but this was still pretty sad. It's like the little android. This little android realizes that her AI is becoming more human-like than android-like. And the story eventually follows her falling in love with a human, and she eventually gets a more humanoid body, and she's trying to get him to fall in love with her, but he's in love with somebody else. It's very reminiscent of actually the original The Little Mermaid. This is definitely a Little Mermaid retelling, and it was very sad. I actually rated this particular story 5 stars, and the one with Winter 4 stars. Yes, that story was very well written, but it was just too much for me. So far, for me, The Little Android has been the best story. And that's where I've left off. So, 7 hours into this audiobook is here. So I'm very close to being done with this book. I may actually sit down and read this later, or I can just finish with the audiobook. But if I finish off with the audiobook, I won't finish this until tomorrow while I'm at work. And then during my lunch break, I did read some of this. I didn't get very far. I really wanted to finish The Little Android. So when I went off for lunch, I kind of just continued listening to it while I was eating my lunch. And so it wasn't until about 30 minutes into my hour lunch break that I finally put down Stars Above and picked up The Near Witch. So I'm at the 100-page mark of The Near Witch, and I was complaining to myself that the story is moving very slowly, like the pacing is very slow. Our main character, Lexi, is still investigating the first child's disappearance, and so I feel like that's moving rather slowly, especially if a bunch of kids are going missing. But I looked on Goodreads. This is the first book in a series, which I wasn't expecting. For some reason, I had it in my head it was a debut. Because it was a debut novel, it was a standalone. Yeah, I don't know why I assumed that. And so I was like, why is this moving so slowly? It's because there's more books to come. And after work, I didn't read at all. After work, I actually hung out with friends. So this is where I want to end this week's vlog. I honestly don't know if I want to get much reading done today. I actually have quite a few chores in mind today, but we'll see how the day goes. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I guess it's ta-ta for now. Bye, guys.